4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to our show.
Hack the planet.
Hack the planet.
All right, how's everybody doing? First things first, again, apologies for the Foldishagotchi case giveaway taking so long. There were technical difficulties, but as I've mentioned, they've been straightened out, and we're ready to award the winners live on air. However, nobody has tuned in yet, so I'm gonna wait as people trickle in. Let's say in about half an hour we'll announce the winners. We'll wait for everybody to get here, so I'm just gonna post that as a message. 30 minutes will announce the Foldishagotchi winners. How's that? Alright. In the meantime, we're gonna get busy persisting AD. This is AD certificate templates. Last night I briefly considered maybe doing this room instead, but I think we should stay on track and finish up this module. So we have just 1.5 rooms to go. We're getting down to the end of it. Let's just review how far we've gotten yet. Slowly but surely, we have gotten through, let's see all the rooms. AD Basics, breaching Active Directory, enumerating Active Directory, lateral movement and pivoting, exploiting Active Directory, persisting Active Directory, that's where we're at now, and credentials harvesting. So I wish I could be a little bit more proud of how much we've accomplished. However, it has taken so long to get to this point. I'm just a little bit disappointed in myself, but there's nothing to do about it now. We can only move forward, which is what we're going to do. All right, so I suspended my machine rather than turning it off, and I don't know if that's the best idea in this instance, since right now it's only serving to confuse me as to where I might be in all of this mess. So let's get things straightened out. Clear. Let's try that again. Clear. And it is unresponsive, so we're just gonna close that window out. Close tab. Let's make sure to save all this here. That's all the info we needed to. Let's make sure it's saved properly. Yeah, that's all the info we needed to create our golden and silver tickets last night. And I imagine this is unresponsive as well. It is. So we might as well just close just about everything out here. I doubt that we're still attached to the network in any sort of meaningful way. So, Control-Shift-T, new window. Where's our access? Refresh. Always remember to refresh if run into problems otherwise. Ooh, you know what? Let's check in on my print. I'm selling my Max Neo and my A1 Mini on Craigslist because I no longer have an eBay account. And with the proceeds, I've bought a P1P. And I gotta say, I'm not super happy with it. I've added fuzzy skin here, but it didn't really add it to the top plate, which is what I was most hoping for, because as it is, it looks not great. This is printing SLA, so it's a more difficult material to print with. Funnily enough, if you slice this using it, this is an 8mm nozzle. If you slice this using the traditional setting, this grate here doesn't even appear in the final preview. Like, it just doesn't slice it, so you have to use the alternative settings in order to get it to even materialize. I don't know why fuzzy skin doesn't appear to be working on the top layer here, but it looks kind of garbage. I'm not entirely satisfied with it. The other thing that was super upsetting was that so the first thing I did with this was swap out the nozzles, because I'm going to be doing big prints, so I swapped it out for a 0.08 millimeter nozzle, and it is a pain in the ass. Like, the reason I had bought this was because I thought it featured the same hot end technology as the A1 series. In the A1 series, you just unclip them and clip them back in. You don't have to worry about the thermistor or the heating element or anything. But on the P1P and the other printers that are like the 256 millimeter by 256 millimeters, they all have like real finicky thermistors and heating elements, and plugging them back in and rearranging the wires and everything. It takes as long as any of the Creality stuff takes, and or longer. Maybe it's just because this is the first time I was doing it, but it was very frustrating. Again, I thought that it shared the same technology as the A1 series, but apparently not. So I don't know. And you can't return these like you can with the anything at Amazon. So I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do. If I could return it, I would definitely consider getting the A1 and then just putting it in the enclosure. However, supposedly Creality warns against that, just because with these, they're built to be enclosed, and the motherboard and the power supply are arranged in such a way that they're not going to heat up. However, I'm kind of defeating that purpose if I'm enclosing the entire thing rather than just putting panels on the frame. So if I'm going to be negligent like that, I might as well just get an A1 and be negligent in the same manner and be able to swap out my hot ends in a matter of minutes rather than, halves of an hour. So I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do, but yeah, these fuzzy skin settings, I think I got something wrong. I wish they would be a little more explicit in this. Let's look at the settings here. I think it's under others. Fuzzy skin contour. What? Contour and hole. What? All walls. Huh? Yeah, it doesn't really explain, because the sides of the walls you can see here, I wouldn't consider that a contour, right? It's just a wall, if we can see it, if the camera will come up. Good camera quality, by the way. Very crisp. But yeah, I wouldn't consider this a contour. And I would imagine if the side walls are getting fuzzy skin, then the top portion should get as well. And I don't know what contour and hole in all walls, what those mean exactly. Like, all walls seems to suggest that interior walls would get the fuzzy skin treatment too. And possibly even the infill. Something crazy like that. I don't know. So, and I did look it up before I printed this, and I thought I would get fuzzy skin on top anyways. The good news is that the A1 Mini prints fantastically, and that's what I'll be printing the Foldishagotchi cases on. So, alright, 8:30 we'll announce the winners. I just want to make sure everybody has a chance to get the notification and see the post. We'll persist AD. Now I already hit refresh, but can't hurt to hit it again. Alright, networks, persisting AD, regenerate, download configuration file. Let's do that here. CD. And let's see. Oh, let's change the name. We're really collecting a lot of OVPN configuration files here. I think we're up to like 7, maybe 8. PAD 8. And I gotta open up my password manager. Hopefully it doesn't. Alright, there we go. Still haven't migrated it to KeepAss yet, but as soon as my Kaspersky subscription is about to run out, that's probably when I'll do it. Error opening because we're not in the right folder. Alright. Alright, because I suspended instead of turning it off, we gotta kill all. Now we can OVPN. Initialization sequence completed. Look at how good I'm getting at reading that. Close tab. Alright, you know what I should do? I should have the robot reading as I go through this. And we are on task 3. Task 4. Moving right along. And this is persistence through certificates. Alright, take it away, robots.
A quick note here. The techniques discussed from this point forward are incredibly invasive and hard to remove. Even if you have sign-off on your red team exercise to perform these techniques, you must take the utmost caution when performing these techniques. In real-world scenarios, the exploitation of most of these techniques would result in a full domain rebuild. Make sure you fully understand the consequences of using these techniques and only perform them if you have prior approval on your assessment and they are deemed necessary. In most cases, a red team exercise would be dechained at this point instead of using these techniques. Meaning you would most likely not perform these persistence techniques but rather simulate them. The last 2 persistence techniques relied on credentials. While we can definitely make the blue team's lives complicated, they can ultimately rotate enough credentials to kick us out. So while these techniques are great to keep the blue team busy while we keep them busy, we should look to use persistence techniques that are credential agnostic, meaning the rotation of these will not kick us out. The first of these we will be looking at is certificates. The return of ADCS. In the exploiting AD room, we leverage certificates to become domain admins. However, certificates can also be used for persistence. All we need is a valid certificate that can be used for client authentication. This will allow us to use the certificate to request a TGT. The beauty of this? We can continue requesting TGTs no matter how many rotations they do on the account we are attacking. The only way we can be kicked out is if they revoke the certificate we generated or if it expires. Meaning we probably have persistent access by default for roughly the next 5 years. If you are interested in a refresh about requesting a certificate and using it for Kerberos authentication, please go to either the Exploiting AD or AD Certificates template room. However, in this room, we are not messing around. We are going after the Certificate Authority, CA, itself. Depending on our access, we can take it another step further. We could simply steal the private key of the root CA certificate to generate our own certificates whenever we feel like it. Even worse, since these certificates were never issued by the CA, the blue team has no ability to revoke them. This would be even worse for the blue team since it would mean a rotation of the CA, meaning all issued certificates would have to be revoked by the blue team to kick us out. Imagine you've just spent the last 2 days performing a domain takeback by rotating the credentials of every single privileges account, resetting all the golden and silver tickets, just to realize the attackers persisted by becoming your CA. Yikes. Extracting the private key. The private key of the CA is stored on the CA server itself. If the private key is not protected through hardware-based protection methods such as an Hardware Security Module, HSM, which is often the case for organizations that just use Active Directory Certificate Services, ADCS, for internal purposes. It is protected by the Machine Data Protection API, POPI. This means we can use tools such as Mimikatz and Sharp POPI to extract the CA certificate and thus the private key from the CA. Mimikatz is the simplest tool to use, but if you want to experience other tools, have a look here. Use SSH to authenticate to thmdc.za.tryhack.lock using the administrator credentials from Task 2. Create a unique directory for your user, move to it, and load Mimikatz. Let's first see if we can view the certificates stored on the DC. We can see that there is a CA certificate on the DC. We can also note that some of these certificates were set not to allow us to export the key. Without this private key, we would not be able to generate new certificates. Luckily, Mimikatz allows us to patch memory to make these keys exportable. If you get an error, don't worry, it just means someone else executed the patch before you.
All right, getting a little ahead of us there, so we're gonna hit pause. I think I almost gotten this straightened out, so... All right, this is disconcerting. Why isn't this working? Inactive. Why? Did I not send the command to... No, I'm sure I did. Because I got the initialization sequence. Yeah, it's already running. Why is it? I don't understand why it seems to be both working and not working. All right, one more time. We'll try this one more time. Persisting AD, I've got the right network. Did I have it wrong at one point? For those of you just joining us, 7 more minutes. I just want to give everybody a chance to see notifications and get in here if they're looking forward to seeing who the winners are. In the meantime, I'm going to struggle with DNS, collecting OVPN configuration files one after the other. We're up to 10 now. Why does it default to persisting AD all the time now? I guess I don't have to be in downloads. Alright, I probably should have just left it there. Oh, I bet the network isn't started or something ridiculous like that. It is not started. Alright, well there you go. That's why that happened. So, might as well kill all. Oh my god. And clear. And CD downloads in anticipation of getting a new config file. All right. Network uptime. Let's see how we're doing here. I'm gonna give it 5 minutes just to be safe. And it looks like the network has just recently been reset. So I think it was at 1 last night. Give me a second here. All right, I'm back. 4 more minutes. I've inadvertently, unintentionally timed it to coincide with the resetting of the network. So that's good. I'm probably gonna do a fake intro so that when this is no longer live, I can trim it so that it looks like I began the stream without any technical difficulties, thereby giving the illusion of competency. Ooh, but you know what? I'll probably have to restart the robot reading. Alright, we'll just start all over again. I hope nobody minds. Note to self, don't suspend your VM if you're going to be streaming, because seems to cause more problems than it solves. All right, let's start the countdown.
4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to our show.
Hack the planet.
Hack the planet.
All right, without much fanfare, I'm just going to announce the winners here. Number 1, Ben Swanson, you have won a Foldishagotchi. Detestation, you too have won a Foldishagotchi. Data Dude, you're a winner of a Foldishagotchi case. And last but not least, and I was rooting for this guy because he's been an asset to the live streams, Ludo the Great, Ludo the Great, aka Trent, who is with us most evenings. But the one evening he's not here, he has won a Foldishagotchi case. So I will be sending everybody out an email, and the good news is you're going to be able to pick from a, let's not say wide, but a variety of different PLA materials and colors. Data Dude, thanks for joining us. I appreciate you being here, and congratulations, you won. And I'll be giving you an email shortly after I close out the stream. And so originally I was going to give everybody the prints that you see in the video because, you know, I had printed so many. But after field testing the case, I found that it was insufficient, and I built a version 2 with a locking lid. And so I'm going to print everybody's Foldishagotchi case from scratch. That means you'll be able to choose the pattern and the PLA type and color. So let me just list out here all the winners. Ben Swanson, you won. Detestation, won. Data Dude, of course, you know that's, you won. And finally, Ludo the Great, you won. Alright, so be expecting an email shortly. Because I have to print them all out custom-like this time around, it's probably going to take a little while. I hope to have them all not just mailed out, but I hope you'll be able to receive them by the end of the month. But it's going to take a little wrangling on my end. Obviously, we were delayed a little bit by some technical difficulties. Everything worked out in the end, and so, yeah. There you go. Data Dude, any idea which pattern and or PLA you would like? I have red and a number of like tricolor silk PLAs, but I recommend black because the holographic patterns show up best backed by black, as mentioned in the video. So take a look at the video, the original video. Black sounds awesome. And then what pattern would you like? Let me bring up, let's see if I can find it on using my VM here. YouTube.com. And let's see, holographic. Kind of laggy. All right, so let's look at your options for patterns. So we have Chameleon. The music is going to kind of clash here. Starry, which was originally my favorite. Circle. Flake, also very nice. Very 80s. Carbon fiber, technically not holographic, but still. Diamond, also not holographic, but a very nice pattern. Galaxy. Galaxy has a lot of nice depth to it that the others kind of lack. Confetti. I think confetti is just larger flakes. I think it's the same as flake, only larger. And streak, which seems to be most people's favorite. And then finally my favorite, which is Phantom. Just because I think it has the strongest effect. So you don't have to decide now, but those are your choices in terms of patterns. And again, I'll shoot you an email. It'll come from my Gmail account. I'm migrating a bunch of server stuff, so it's not going to come from. Yeah, they all look pretty good. There's not one that I'm really disappointed in. Like I said, like you kind of see here. Sometimes you lose the effect from certain angles, but they're all very nice. Anyways, I'll be in touch. And you're under no obligation to stick around, but we are going to be doing some pretty cool stuff. We're going to become our own certificate authority and basically issue our own credentials and take over an Active Directory environments. Now, because of the technical difficulties, basically starting the stream over. So, I'm going to have the robot reread all this, and while she's doing that, I'm going to finally figure out DNS.
A quick note here. The techniques discussed from this...
No, this is... So, much like SSL certificates, an AD environment has a certificate system too. So Active Directory is basically Microsoft's identity and access management system. And so if you want to take over like something like 95% of all corporate environments are Active Directory. So if you want to take over a corporate computer system and or pen test a corporate computer system, which is obviously the majority of pen testing engagements, I would imagine, you really have to know AD. So, with that said, take it away, robot. Take it away, robot.
Point forward are incredibly invasive and hard to remove. Even if you have sign-off on your red team exercise to perform these techniques, you must take the utmost caution when performing these techniques. In real-world scenarios, the exploitation of most of these techniques would result in a full domain rebuild. Make sure you fully understand the consequences of using these techniques and only perform them if you have prior approval on your assessment and they are deemed necessary. In most cases, a red team exercise would be to change...
For SSL certificates, the... I don't know if I can explain this correctly. But the best way to compromise certificates is to become semi-legitimate. So I've seen some real gray area actors become their own like trusted certificates issuers, which is kind of insidious, but yeah.
At this point, instead of using these techniques. Meaning you would most likely not perform these persistence techniques, but rather simulate them. The last two persistence techniques relied on credentials. While we can definitely make the blue team's lives complicated, they can ultimately rotate enough credentials to kick us out. So while these techniques are great to keep the blue team busy while we keep them busy, we should look to use persistence techniques that are credential agnostic, meaning the rotation of these will not kick us out. The first of these we will be looking at is certificates. The return of ADCS. In the exploiting AD room, we leverage certificates to become domain admins. However, certificates can also be used for persistence.
Hey,
all we
Trent.
need is a valid certificate.
Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I was rooting for you. As I generated the winners, there's like on socialman.com, the service that I use for this, there's a button you press, generate winner, generate winner, generate winner, and you were the very last person to be generated as a winner. I was rooting for you. So expect an email. I'll get your address, and because I was mentioning originally I was going to just send out the prints from the video, but after field testing the cases, of course I've come up with a version 2 with a locking lid, so you'll be able to choose your PLA and your holographic pattern. So any ideas which pattern you might like? Yeah, I'll be printing it on my Bamboo A1 Mini, so they'll definitely turn out nice.
Used for client authentication. This will allow us to use the certificate to request a TGT. The beauty of this? We can continue requesting TGTs no matter how many rotations they do on the account we are attacking. The only way we can be kicked out is if they revoke the certificate we generated or if it expires. Meaning we probably have persistent access by default for roughly the next 5 years.
Swap out
if you are
the hot
interested
ends,
in a refresh about requesting a certificate and using it for
just
Kerberos
clip them in place
authentication,
in
please go
5
to either
minutes
the
or so.
Exploiting AD or AD Certificates
And I
template
thought
room. However, in this room,
that the
we are not
P1P would
messing
do the
around.
same, and I
We are
was
going
very
after the
disappointed
Certificate
today
Authority, CA, itself.
when I found out that it's
Depending on our access,
just as
we can take
cumbersome
it
as
another
any of
step
the
further.
Creality stuff. It took me
We
like
could
30
simply
minutes to
steal the
change
private
the hot
key
end
of the
on
root
it.
CA
I was very
certificate to generate our own
disappointed.
certificates whenever
I
we
thought
feel
for sure
like
it was
it.
going to use the same
Even
technology
worse, since these
as the
certificates were never
A1
issued
series,
by the
but
CA,
it does
the
not.
Blue Team has no ability to revoke
Live and
them.
learn, I guess.
This would be even worse for the Blue Team since it would mean a rotation of the CA, meaning all issued certificates would have
Yeah,
to be
it's a good
revoked by the
excuse.
Blue Team to kick us out. Imagine you've just spent the last
You know
2
what I was
days
thinking is
performing a domain
crazy is
takeback by
some of those
rotating the
travel
credentials of
routers
every
are
single
cheaper than
privileges
a,
account, resetting all
you know,
the
the
golden
price
and
for
silver
Foldishagotchi,
tickets,
so
just
they're
to
more
realize the
powerful
attackers
and
persisted by becoming your
cheaper than a
CA. Yikes.
Punagachi.
Extracting the private key. The private key of the CA is
All right,
stored
let's
on the CA
see
server itself.
how we're doing here.
If the private key is not protected through hardware-based protection methods such as an Hardware Security Module, HSM, which is often the case for organizations that just use Active Directory Certificate Services, ADCS, for internal purposes. It is protected by the Machine Data Protection API.
I don't know what else
copy.
to do if
This means we can use tools
DNS
such as
isn't gonna
Mimikatz and
work
Sharp
out
Copy
here.
to extract the CA certificate and thus the private key from the CA. Mimikatz is the simplest tool to use, but if you want to experience other tools, have a look
Yeah, I
here.
was not aware of that.
Use
I thought for
SSH
sure.
to authenticate to thmdc.za.tryhack.lock using the administrator credentials from
I guess I
task
just
2.
assumed.
Create a unique directory for your user, move to it, and load Mimikatz.
Right,
Let's
and we
first
got
see if
Grace
we can
Clark
view the
again. That's
certificates
weird. All
stored
right,
on the
so
DC.
DNS is working finally.
We can
so
see that
that's
there is
good.
a CA certificate on the DC. We can also note that some of these
She's getting
certificates
ahead
were
of
set.
us, so let's stop there. All right, so we're going to compromise the private key and store it on the CA. If the private key is not protected, this means we can use tools such as Mimikatz and Sharp DPappy to extract the CA certificate and thus the private key from the CA. Mimikatz is the simplest tool to use. Once we have the key, I think then we can start issuing our own certificates. And yeah, so very insidious form of persistence. You got the robot going still. What? Which robot? Oh, is it still playing in? Can you hear it? Oh, okay. All right. There we go. I don't know why I'm having such a... Today's been a rough day. Another rough day. If you want to experience other tools, have a look here. Okay. We're just going to bookmark this. All right, let's get to work. Use SSH to authenticate to thmdc.za.tryhackme.loc using the administrator credentials from task 2, creating a unique directory for your user, move to it, and load Mimikatz. Sounds good. Let's do that. SSH, and we have to change all of this. Why is my delete key not working? Oh, because it's not even, it's just suggested. Now my delete key is working. Admin, hopefully it will go as swimmingly as last night. Last night was one of the better streams. thmdc.tryhackme.loc. I guess that's redundant there. Do I need a ZA in there? I do need a ZA in there. What am I missing? I'm not. Okay. Command is good. Administrator's password. We have creds already opened. Copying that. Pasting that. Perhaps I didn't copy it. Let's use the right click. Just to make sure. Alright, we're in. And I know this isn't probably deserving of any type of meme, but I'm going to play it anyways.
We're in.
Morale booster for us there. All right. So now we want to make a directory. Huh, it's the same as a Linux command, it looks like. CSS cyberspace, man. Okay, that's how you abbreviate my name. And let's see, cd css. Whoop, there we go. And nothing should be in it. All right, I don't know, just reflexive to do that. And now we got to load Mimikatz. So C tools as per usual. Mimikatz trunk. I have no idea what the trunk stands for. Nope. I want this x64 and then Mimikatz.exe. And we're in again.
We're in.
We're into the application. Let's see if we can view the certificates stored on the domain controller. And so crypto certificates, system store, local machine. Mimikatz is fascinating. Because we're going to find out later that we can patch the memory using did it work? Kind of worked. Looks like it worked. Mimikatz is super powerful. Alright, so we can view them, so that's good. We can see that there's a CA certificate on the DC. We can also note that some of these certificates were set not to allow us to export the key. Without this private key, we would not be able to generate new certificates. Luckily, Mimikatz allows us to patch memory. Yeah, see? So this is the part already where we're patching memory to make these keys exportable. So let's go ahead and do that. The most common privilege only has one L. I don't know why you would think otherwise. And debug. And crypto Cappy patched. Now CN, we got to do CN too. All right, crypto CNG. If you get an error, don't worry. It just means someone else executed the patch before you. But the network's just been reset for whatever reason. So with these services patched, we can use Mimikatz to export the certificates. Crypto certificate, system store, local machine. Do we have history in Mimikatz? We do. No, go back. All right. Machine, and now export. Was I supposed to... The exported certificates will be stored in both the PFX and DIR format to disk. Oh, okay. Let's see if that happened. That did happen. All right. So just kind of mix up its own names. The ZA THM DC CA PFX certificate is the one we are particularly interested in. In order to export the private key, a password must be used to encrypt the certificate. By default, Mimikatz assigns the password of Mimikatz. Download or copy the certificate to your attack box using SCP, and then copy it to your low-privileged user's home directory on THM Work 1. You can also perform the rest of the steps on your own non-domain joined Windows machine if you prefer. But it has to be a Windows machine, because I think we're gonna use Forge Cert, and I think that's only an executable type program. But it's loaded into the tools directory on THM Work 1. It's kind of inconvenient, right? I would much prefer it if we could just do everything here. But probably there's a reason why. I don't think it would screw anything up. I mean, you could pretty much, I would imagine you could create your own certificates anywhere without like overwriting or interfering with anything. Anyways, let's do it the way they suggest. So we're going to have to do a secure copy. And yeah. Let's just fill this for now. You know what? Let's make a different directory. What should we call it? Certs. All right, and now let's do secure copy. And let's just we're on THM, DC. Is it just DC or DC1 or something? It's just DC. All right, and our path is C users administrator CSSM, CSMM. And I think we get a... I know Windows uses these weird backslash things. But I think because we're on a Kali machine, we gotta point them the other way anyways. Let me just copy this all. And then delete it. Let's see what the original... Yeah, see, they gotta face the other way. All right. So I'm gonna paste it in. And we're gonna change all these so that Linux likes it. Why can't we all just get along with our slashes facing the right way? All right, what's the name of the file that we want? We are interested in ZA-THM DC CA PFX copy and paste, or right click I guess and paste. What do you think the odds are this is going to work? I'm feeling pretty confident. I think it's going to work. So far so good. It's asking us for a password. That's a good sign. I wonder if my cat is freaked out by all the explosions. Oh god, no such file or directory. What went wrong? Can I get my example SCP command back? No, it's the new one. ZA administrator at thmdc. ZA tryhackme.loc. C users administrator. Is it administrator.za? No, because we copied and pasted it. Let me consult my notes. Or is it a problem with the network? I think that was a thing once. Network seems to be fine. All right, let's see. We have to quadruple escape our... The other example I have, it has the ZA quadruple escaped, which I don't think that's a thing, but that's what my notes are telling me to do, so I'm gonna... Don't laugh at me. Why? It gives me false hope. It's always like, oh yeah, it's gonna work. Just put in a password and it'll work. What's going on over here? All right. Now what's going on? Copy. Paste. Huh. Alright, maybe that's because of the quadruple escaped weirdness. I just want to see if it's going to give me the same... Okay, this time it's no such file or directory. I just copied and okay. I just copied and pasted their example here, and we can see that the error message is indeed correct again. Such a file does not exist. So which one is it? ZA THM DC CA. I think it's this one for real. This is kind of giving me fits just because of the formatting. Hi, Tainted Blood. Thanks for visiting me. No, I think what happened is, see here it says, well, let me just control find it. The ZA THMDC CA PFX certificate is the one we're particularly interested in. So what I did was I thought, yeah, that's the one we're interested in. And I just pasted it here. But you can see our Mimikatz has generated some very different names. So it's prefaced it with local machine my1 ZA-THMDC. So I think if I plug this in, it's going to be okay. A lot of times I'm skeptical of what the error messages tell me, but I think in this case they were correct. No such file or directory did exist. And we get a weird line break again, which is always bad news. So this should work. And it did work. All right, cool. Not dir. This. All right. I think this is going to be an issue later on where there's going to be real large commands and that it's going to use that as the name. So I'm just going to rename this for ease of use later on. If I can, yay! I selected it. And we're going to just call it this portion. And so far, so good. All right, now we have to get this on THM work.1. And how do we do that? Some sort of reverse SCP. But this is... SCP gives me fits to begin with, so... Let's see. Then copy it to your low-privileged user's home directly on THM work. Do I have to be SSH'd in already? No, it's just going to prompt me for the password, right? All right. I would imagine we just reverse everything. But I'm going to consult with Chat GPT real quick. Let me see here. Give me reverse SCP for this copy and pasted monstrosity. Previously, ChatGPT was not very helpful with SCP commands, so we will see how this works out. And the one thing we want to change is this. Grace.Clark at THM work1.ca. Okay. Wait. No, that's our original. Yeah, ChatGPT is not very reliable for creating SCP commands. I don't know why I didn't catch that earlier. And bear with me for a second. Oh my god, I can't type anything. Give me a SCP command to put a file on Grace.Clark at THM work1 za.try.acme.com. My current working dir. We should probably SSH in and create a directory for this. So let me do that first. Why is it not? Why are you not? Okay, hold on. Everything is going sideways. There we go. It's time to start renaming windows. This is THMDC. This is THM Work 1. Password is just password 1, I think. For Grace. Grace not really choosing the best of passwords. And let's see, make dir CSSM CD, and we can just copy this here. And now SCP SCP .za.tryhackme.loc. Oh, we need a colon there. And now we need the path. And we probably have to change all these weird looking slashes. But if it doesn't work, the first thing I'm going to do is change them back. Alright, looks good. Like I said, it's basically the same thing in reverse, with the file and the path coming first, and then the target destination at the end. I don't want a slash in front of the C, do I? I hate when they get my hopes up by asking for a password. Oh, but it worked. All right, good. I'm going to copy this and put it in my notes. And I'm going to take a short break and check on my cat because I'm worried that she's scared by the fireworks going off. So, thanks for joining me. I hope you'll stick around. Let me just paste this real quick. New notes. And put it in code block. All right. Like I said, thanks for joining me. We'll be back in a moment. I gotta go worry about the cat. All right, that was probably more than 5 minutes. My apologies, but obviously the cat comes first. And the cat came back the very same day. She was hunkered down, scared of the explosions, hiding under the gazebo in the back, but we've been reunited and everything's a-okay now. All right, what I miss? I've spent all day building an autoblogger that generates news stories and saves them to an MD file to use with Hugo, or easily adaptable to other static site framework. Cool. Finally just got it actually working for the most part. Yeah, she's fine. She's okay now. You know who might know a little bit about that is Discord member Endless Fractal, who set up the news feed in the cybersecurity news channel there. So if you're ever stumped, I might inquire with him. He's experienced in that regard. All right, what are we doing here? Happy 4th, by the way. Speaking of all the explosions going on in the background, I don't know if you can hear them, but they're there. Oh, by the way, does anybody know what setting would get fur on the top surface here? Because Contour doesn't seem to be doing it. All walls, I would imagine. This is going to be like my 5th attempt at printing this part. I'm starting to run out of SLA filaments. And by the way, I got to get some sort of exhaust system going, because the fumes from that are way more toxic than PLA. I'm just about, I'm kind of happy with how the most recent piece turned out, but strike that. I'm actually never happy with how any of my prints turn out these days. But whatever. Let's finish this up and see about maybe even getting to another task. All right. Generating our own certificates. Now that we have the private key and root CA certificate, we can use the Spectre Ops Forge Cert tool to forge a client authenticate certificate for any user we want. The Forge Cert and Rubius binaries are stored in the C tools directory on THM Work 1. Let's use Forge Cert to generate a new certificate. All right. So this is why I changed the name, so that we wouldn't have to keep messing with a lot of our parameters here. All right. C tools Forge Cert. Forge cert, exe, CA cert path. Why do we need that? CA cert password. Mimikatz. The paths are exported CA certificate, but it's in the... Can I just put it in the... No, I guess we can't. Alright, and I'm not even on THM Work 1 yet. I've never done anything with fuzzy skin. I've seen... oh, that bot is actually what got me working on it? Yeah. I've seen people have pretty good results with it. It looks like a more premium plastic. Like, it looks like, it was broken out of a mold, like professionally done. All it's really doing is adding additional layer lines, but it breaks up the layer lines that you're expecting to see, you know what I'm saying? The bottom of the piece I just printed looks, super professionally done, just because it's picking up the texture of the build plate. But anyways, all right, let's get to work on this. CA cert path. How do we get out of here? Control C. Oh, okay, good. We're not completely out of the... Let's copy this. You know what? I should copy these one at a time. Let's copy this. No, not select all. Let's copy this. Let's paste that here. Forward cert. Okay, now let's go jump all the way back here. Copy the path. Why am I having to control Shift V in a Windows environment? Say CA cert. Oh, you know what? I think we still need that tac CA cert path. CA cert password is Mimikatz. Subject CN user. Subject alt name. Administrator. @ZA try hacking.log. New path. New cert path. Full admin PFX. If I just leave out the path, does it default? I'd like it to think it would. Let's just read on. Parameters explain. CA cert path, the path to our exported CA certificate. CA cert password, the password used to encrypt the certificate by default. Mimikatz. Subject, the subject or common name of the certificate. This does not really matter in the context of what we will be using the certificate for. What? So common name equals user. Subject alt name. This is the user principal name of the account we want to impersonate with this certificate. It has to be a legitimate user. That's funny because somewhere in the reading it says it doesn't have to be, right? I thought. Subject alt name. This is the user principal name. Why would they call it principal name? Subject principal name instead of alt. I don't like these naming conventions. New cert path, the path to where forward cert will store the generated certificates. And so I'm assuming it's just defaulting to the working directory. I don't know why it does that previously. New cert password. We can use Rubius to request a TGT using the certificate to verify that the certificate is trusted. We will then use the following command. All right, let's send this and see how it works. And it doesn't. Okay, because I had a typo there. And go back hundreds of ways. What is it supposed to be? Just CA. I imagine certificate authority. Let's try it again. Access to the path CSM is denied. Why? We only get like 1 in 100 live streams going. Correctly. Do I need a slash at the end? No. Could not find a part of the path. And previously it said what? It was denied? Let's leave it blank and see if it just defaults. Grace Clark, I have it spelled right. Users, yeah. Let's leave it blank and see what happens. It looks like we can leave the path blank elsewhere. Why wouldn't it let us do it here? Oh. Alright, I think if I had... Yeah, alright. Let me just show you what I think was what happened. I think if I had just eliminated this space here, it would have worked. But I'm not going to test that theory because we've got what we wanted, so that's good enough for me. How do I kill this? How do I get rid of everything here? I want to hit Control C, but that might jump me out completely. Thankfully it didn't. Let's see. How's it going? Full admin.pfx. Alright. So ZATHMDC certificate is the one we created. We can now use Rubius to request a TGT using the certificate to verify that the certificate is trusted. We'll use the following command. Alright, so there's a bunch of parameters we have to substitute here. So I'm not happy about that. But what can you do, right? Gotta learn somehow. Wow, there's a lot of slashes are going every which way. Tools, Rubius, Ask TGT, User Administrator, Encryption Type, Certificate Path to Certificate. Alright, let's get that taken care of. First things first, I imagine. What is, Hugo? I had a question earlier and I didn't follow up on it. I've heard it before, but I'm not familiar with Hugo. Some sort of website framework I'm trying to imagine from context. Alright, certificate path. Back to work. Copy. Control V. Control Shift V for some reason. Slash. Gotcha. That I had assumed from context, but I wasn't entirely sure. Now we need the name full admin PFX. And right now I have old. What? No. Right now I have all, so Control Shift V for some reason, and password certificate file password is password 123, right? And is it capitalized? Yes. Out file, name of file to write TGT to. Can everybody hear the dog barking in the background? Let me know if he's a distraction. He is distracting me. Administrator. Oh, we gotta get back in the window. Administrator.kirby, another Kirby file. And our DC domain controller IP is, I think they want the child domain controller. Kind of like Jekyll, which I should have used since I'm going to try and host the site in GitHub pages. Gotcha. 10.200.16.101. I've seen it so many times, I'm not even trying to memorize it, but I can't help but remember it probably, right? Because, yeah, I've used it so many gosh darn times. And I think it looks good. What are we doing again? We can use Rubius to request a TGT using the certificate to verify that the certificate is trusted. All right. So this is the part where we're just generating endless amounts of ticket granting tickets. Okay. Yeah, the dog can be pretty distracting for me, at least. Error! KDC error pre-auth failed. Building as, let's see, what's wrong? Where did we go wrong? STGT user administrator certificates is all screwed up. Moment of truth. Here we go. Error. KDC error. Pod data type no sup. I don't know. What does that mean? C. Users. Grace. Clark. Is this one of those things where we just put the name of the... We don't need the full path because we're in the directory? Because I'd be okay with that. Error. Same error. Pod data type no sup. Do we need the full path? Let's read. Let's break down the parameters. User, don't care. And type, don't care. Certificate. Path is certificate we have generated. Let's look at the example. Yeah, they're not doing the full path because they're in the directory. Full admin .pfx. What else could the problem be? C, tools, Rubius, STGT. We know that's okay because... Wait, here they're not using STGT, are they? Let's expand the window. Where'd it go? Why does it do that? Yeah, it has the STGT user administrator. They capitalized theirs. Did I capitalize mine? Because I copied and pasted everything. Certificate full. Do we have the correct domain controller? 10.200.16.101, yeah. Full admin pfx password 123. Where's the Mimikatz password? Do we need that yet? ZA try hackme.loc DC. I'm kind of stumped here. I wonder if our full admin PFX got screwed up somehow. Maybe we didn't run this correctly and now the full admin PFX file is all screwed up. That's the only thing I can really think of. I wonder if there's any weird line break problems here. C tools, Rubius, EXE, STGT, user administrator, and type certificates. Certificates, full admin.pfx, password. Password 123, outfile administrator Kirby, domain CA .loc, DC10. I'm going to check the IP one more time just to make sure. All right. So I'm assuming that we screwed up in generating our full admin.pfx file. Dir Del could not find. Oh, so del is the command. All right, let's try generating that again. Copy and Control Shift V for some reason, and or paste. ZA THMDC CA.pfx looks good. What if our PFX is incorrect? What if we have to go all the way back? CA cert password, Mimikatz, subject CN user, subject alt name administrator, at ZA tryhackme.loc, new cert path, full admin PFX, new cert password, password 123. There's no way we could screw this up. It's literally just copying and pasting everything. There's not a single parameter that we have to change. How far back do we have to go to fix this? Oh, we gotta go back to like Mimikatz. On our... Wait. We have to go back to the DC server. Or just upload it from our attack box. Guys, I'm at a loss. If you can figure out what has gone wrong, I'm all ears. It's working extra hard this time. No, it's still got an error. How could this... How could the original PFX file be wrong, though? Because I'm getting typical output. Unless I'm using the wrong PFX file? This is the one -ca.pfx. So I don't see how... Did I use the right commands? I shouldn't have cleared. I wonder if it overrode it. What? Oh no. Did the network expire? Oh, God. Alright, that may be where we... last time I remembered to have Alexa set an alarm for me, so I knew when the network would expire. However...
Alarm for what time?
Alexa, shut up. I forgot to do so this time, and so... That sucks that, like, when it was right at 1 hour and I tried to reset the, or extend the network, it wouldn't do it because it wasn't 59 minutes. God, I don't know if we can, if we're still connected here. This was supposed to be a swimmingly stream, just like last night, with the added benefit of, you know, having all the prizes go out and everything. I mean, it's not like we're resetting the network, so all our files are still going to be there. I just have to do all the DNS stuff again. What happened? Did we outlive the music? Not yet. I don't think. Very embarrassing. Yeah, as soon as I lost my history, I knew the network was down. And also all other commands to the server. Alright, is anybody going to be too disappointed if I end the stream on a horrible note? Yeah. Or even like an alarm, I imagine, wouldn't be too difficult to pull off. Supposedly, you can do the entire room in 120 minutes. So, apparently, I'm just very, very slow at this. Real fake laughter hiding real pain. Who else is excited for the new Deadpool movie? I know I am. Speaking of which, I have to repair my joystick. I haven't been playing. I don't think I've played a single video game in like a week. Which is not necessarily a bad thing. I tend to overdo it, but I would like some downtime. If you're not feeling it, I'd call it yeah, at the same time, I keep using the excuse that it's been a really tough day, but every day is really tough. What with all my various maladies and circumstances. So, I looked at how far we've gotten, and in the time it's taken us to get here, I was not happy with my performance thus far. I'm mulling it over. We've gotten all our files still. It's not like we have to, I mean, that being said, if our files are all messed up for some reason, and they appear to be, then it's going to be that much longer. It might be better just to start completely all over. Oh, I lost my page. I have not seen all of the Deadpool movies, but the ones I have seen I enjoyed much more than the other superhero movies I've seen. Yeah, they're very good. You can tell it's a labor of love for Ryan Reynolds. Deadpool 2 I saw in Korea, and there weren't too many people in the movie theater. I don't think they were really aware of what it was. And I was watching it with an elderly couple. So that was weird, but they seemed to enjoy it. Yeah, definitely a good fit. And I think that was nothing. I watched The Hurt Locker on a rooftop theater in Kuwait. That was pretty awkward. That was far more awkward than Deadpool in Korea. Not found. Kuwait is cool though. I very much enjoyed Kuwait. I fell in with a real good group of people. I don't know where it all went wrong, what I'm doing here today. Let's see here. What am I looking for? All right, I'm gonna jump back in real quick. And I'll see if I can do anything with the existing files. If I can't, I'm just gonna have to start all over anyways. In which case, we'll try again tomorrow night. Oh, I hate this dog. This is not my dog. If I were to have a dog, it would be well behaved. Where's Quota Kitty hiding? Probably under the bed. Sudo kill everyone. Oh, what's my password? I liked the Ant-Man and I liked Civil War was really good. Spider-Man movies are good too. Logan was super awesome, but a little too close to home. For reasons I can't get into. CD. Refresh. Networks. Sting AD. Regenerates. Download configuration file. We're up to 11, 12. Rename. PAD 11. We're up to 12. Holy cow. Rename. PAD 12. I am going to clear out this directory before I start my next stream. Oh, the fireworks are synced up. The call is coming from inside the house. All right, sudo open PID 12 initialization. Oh man, I just ruined my streak of saying initialization correctly. That is upsetting. Sudo resolve. I should be very quick at this by now. And yet, here we are. NS. And more to the point, let's see if we can why? I did everything correctly. Oh, the renaming? Yeah. I hit refresh. Wait. Why the hell didn't this work? This is why I believe in a petty, spiteful God from the Old Testament. No, what are you doing? Do the thing. Why am I in certs? Why does it default to that folder? Why the hell isn't this working? Sudo kill all OpenVPN. Sudo OpenVPN pad 12 VPN. Sudo resolve CTL DNS. Persist AD looks good. IP is good. Sudo domain persist AD za tryhackme.lock or loc. I hit refresh before I requested the credentials. Oh, that sucks. I know I hit refresh, right? I never forget to hit refresh anymore. Yeah, because every time you refresh, it defaults to machines, and I selected networks and then persisting AD. So why? Why wouldn't it work? I'm going right back to pad 1. Is what? Oh, did I not kill it a second time? Oh my god. Sudo kill all OpenVPN. IP looks like it's killed. Sudo system status OpenVPN inactive, right? Control C, let's clear. And sudo OpenVPN pad, and we're going to do 1 this time. Initialization. Sequence completed. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Control Shift T. Sudo resolve domain. Good. Let me make sure I'm using the right password. Wouldn't it tell me that? I mean, and sudo resolve dn and send it. And if this doesn't work, I'm at a complete loss. We're giving up. Why though? Oh, did it? Wait. It says it's running. I don't have to start it again. Can't extend it. What the hell is going on? I would very much like to give up on this, but now it's become my white whale. Whatever. I'm gonna give up. It says, why does it say I'm connected? It says you are ready to start hacking. It still says I'm connected. Previously, it would say I wasn't connected when I was connected. So it's saying that I am connected must mean that I'm not. That's the right server. The interface is up. I bet if I look at the status again, it'll say that it's inactive. It is inactive. Why? Can I just start it? Now it's active. This is insane. I've never encountered that before, I don't think. Why would it be inactive? I hate everything. was so happy about having to force quit. It might still not work, even though it's active now. Can I ping anything? I can't. Maybe I have to redo everything now that it's active. I feel like it should have prompted me for a password. This is driving me crazy. Are you guys hearing music at home? I'm not hearing any music. Looks like desktop is not peaking. I think we've outlasted my playlist. Well, let me check the status again. You know what? I'm one way or another, I'm quitting. I've got to kill everything again. That's okay, because we're gonna... It's okay that there's... oh my god. Give me a moment. Whatever. So even though I killed everything, it's still active. Interesting. IP A is not there, so that's good. That's expected. So now that it's active, I'm just going to see if this works. Even if it does work, I'm still quitting. But at least I'll have triumphed over DNS once again. I'm like 18-1 against DNS. So we're just going to have to take the victories wherever we can get them. And I'm a little sad because we had more than the usual number of viewers today, and they saw a very disappointing stream. Pad 2. Sudo open pad 2. That sound was very similar to my on-call pager found sound. Dumb phone autocomplete. I was very confused for a second. I am very confused all the time, but especially when trying to fight with DNS. Let's get rid of these. I know for a fact I can close these out without killing the process. So you can't tell me otherwise. Sudo resolve DNS. Good. Password for Kali. Let's make sure I have it loaded into memory. Sudo resolve domain. Alright, NS, look up, THM work. Come on, switch to the tab. Resend. There's no reason this shouldn't... Oh, maybe I had to start it again to make sure it was active after I killed it. Sudo status, system status, open VPN. It's active. Guys, I don't know. "30 minutes of just fighting with DNS and still not getting it right." Now it says I'm not connected. Oh, I am connected. Maybe there's something wrong with the cookies or whatever. Maybe I am connected. Come on. Oh my God. What is going on? New tab. Move over here. Go where I tell you to. What about in a private tab? New private window. Control V. Nothing doing. Bizarre. This is the weirdest. I thought I had been able to troubleshoot every DNS error we've come across. I thought I had encountered every problem we could encounter. Maybe there's something wrong with the creds page. Maybe there's something wrong with the network. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's keep the streak going. We're up to 2. We're just 88 streaks away from a badge. All right. I blame the network. Because really, what else could it be at this point? Persist AD is there. Unknown group default clen 500. I wish they would just speak English. It's still active. Exited. What does that mean? Finished OVPN service? Can't ping anything either. Well, there's nothing else I can do on my end other than leave the room and then rejoin it. Let's do that. No, you know what? I'm gonna give up. All right. Thank you for joining me, and congratulations once again to Ben Swanson, Detestation, Data Dude, and of course Ludo the Great. And thank you, Data Dude and Ludo the Great, for joining us and interacting. I'm sorry it was such a shit stream once again. This is just we didn't get one single Hack the Planet. I don't know what kind of clip do I have. This is how I feel right now.
Is this a game? Or is it...
Or is it... Okay, that should have played a little longer. Or is it real? Because it doesn't feel real. Is this real life? I have no idea. I've been messing around with Tailscale. I should know what that is, and it sounds familiar, but please tell me what Tailscale is. Because I do not know. I guess after this, I am going to... What? I am going to take a break from all my worries. And, no, I'm probably going to swap out one worry for another, printing. Go back to printing and try to figure out how to get fuzzy skin on the top of my print. I don't know, guys. Alright. Hopefully tomorrow will be better. Ending the stream in 10 seconds. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. Data Dude, I am too exhausted. If Let me know in the Discord what tail scale is. I'm interested. Emails will go out either later tonight or early tomorrow. I know I said tonight, but I am pretty exhausted. Just emotionally, physically, mentally. Like 50 said, VPN service will leave you physically, emotionally scarred. All right. Physically, emotionally, mentally scarred. And that's how I'm feeling. And ending the stream. All right, sorry.